What up, everybody, guys? It is your boy Ash. Happy Sunday, and I'm coming to you guys with my review of One Piece manga chapter 1000. Guys, I just finished my live reaction. I read through the chapter a couple more times, and my goodness, what a fun chapter to start off this year. The hype is real. Everything I wanted from this chapter, I got. There was a fight, there was hype. We get to see everyone hit the rooftop. We get to see what happened to the Scabbards. I mean, I am so excited. This is just what we need to kick off an amazing 2021 here for One Piece and the rest of the mangas, guys. So this is a great way to start it off. So let's jump right into this review. I'm gonna start at the beginning, just go all the way towards the end, kind of break it down a little bit. So we start this chapter off, first of all, the chapter is named Straw Hat Luffy. So just on that, if you haven't seen my live reaction, guys, go check it out. I was just on the name alone, I was so excited because you kind of had the feeling that Luffy was about to do something insane and incredible, and he does. So we start the chapter off. Luffy's huffing and puffing, and he finally reaches the stairs to the rooftop. He's on the 5th floor, and the stairs to the rooftop were guarded by what looked like dozens and dozens of beast pirates, but they were all wiped out by the 3 musketeers, Sicilian and others, better known as Lion Viper now, so, which is what Luffy calls Sicilian, Lion Viper because of Cat Viper, so Lion Viper, it makes sense. I get where Luffy's kind of connecting the dots there, so that's what I'm going to call Sicilian from now on. So Sicilian and the rest of the musketeers cleared out the rabble, the rest of the beast pirates, so Luffy didn't have to expend any extra energy. And Sicilian mentions to Luffy, this is the least we could do. This is all we can do for you guys. And Luffy's like, oh, thanks, guys. And don't worry, I didn't forget what you guys did for Raizo by saving him and all you guys did. And just those parting words from Luffy as he's running up the stairs to get to the rooftop just hit Sicilian hard, and you see him start to cry. And that was a really touching scene to start this, because not only the people from Wano and Momo and Kinemon and all them, but the Minks went through hell too with whatever happened to Anzo with Jack and everything. I mean, they saw their friends get killed and people get sick and poisoned. They thought they're all gonna die, and now they're on Wano Kuni, and they just went through this crazy battle with Jack and the Beast Pirates again. Like, the Minks have gone through some shit. So for Sicilian to kind of hear that Straw Hat, the kind of hero of the story, is praising him like, don't worry, I'll never forget what you guys did. I think it hit him pretty well. So that was a great scene to start this, but we kind of cut away to see Marco still flying up with Zoro in his talons, and you see King and Queen. And for a second, I didn't notice this, but now that I look back, I see Queen's neck looks mechanical too. Like, I don't know if it's just how the neck is, there's just like lines in his neck, but it looks like kind of like a slinky, like there's necks and there's like rings to it. And you see the very base at the bottom, like that's his neck. You see his body's over there too. And last time we see, like, he had guns in his mouth. Did he modify his body somehow? His devil fruit body? Is that even possible? So very interesting about Queen's devil fruit in his body. I'm hoping we get to see more about this. But Marco is taking up Zoro to the rooftop, and King and Queen are doing their most to stop him. Even Queen's is like, what's up with this guy? Why can't we stop him? Is he invincible? And all of a sudden we see Marco light up his flames, and his wing flames wrap around King and Queen's neck, and he's like holding him kind of like a little bro holds a big bro holds his little bro, just kind of by the neck, just like holding them like, easy kids, come on, like, why are we, just come on, let the dude go. And as he's holding them down, he's like, we're just gonna let Zoro do his thing, and he whips Zoro up to the rooftop. Zoro even looks back, he's like, hey, don't just toss me. And you see him just scream all the way to the rooftop. And we don't see Zoro until the very end of this chapter again, guys. So that was a great scene. We see Marco kind of toying with King and Queen. Now, I don't think Marco would just possibly just handle King and Queen on his own. Marco is strong, and yes, he was the right-hand man of Whitebeard, the strongest pirate in the world at that time, but King and Queen, I can't imagine, are pushovers enough for Marco just to take them both on by himself. He probably caught them off guard here and got them in the little flames because they didn't really understand his powers. But I think they'll be able to wriggle loose, break loose, and then a real fight will happen. Either it'll be Marco versus King and Queen versus Sanji if Sanji leaves Black Maria, and Robin takes over that fight. So we'll see how that goes. But I'm excited that just to see Marco going in full Phoenix form. He's in full Phoenix form this time, and he's looking badass, guys. So that was that scene. It was a quick scene. We don't get to see any more from Marco, King and Queen. We cut over to where Momo and Yamato are, and this is a big chunk of the chapter, guys. We get a lot of information here, and there's some really touching scenes in this as well. They kind of pull on the heartstrings. So we start off by saying Momo saying D, and not in the normal way that we saw it, guys. So we usually see the D and then a period. Momo says it D-E-E. Now, I don't know if that's supposed to mean something or if that's just how Momo kind of like expresses it. That's how he says it. And he mentions this is in my father's journal. So I don't know if Oda's trying to like put in like little mentions. Like this is what the word is fully gonna mean. Like D-E-E, I don't know if that's gonna be an acronym or if that's just part of the word. Like we don't know what the D means, but it might mean that we might find out at the end of Wano Kuni, Yamato may express what the D meant, what Odin found out at the end of this arc to the Straw Hats. That would be really cool. I don't know if that's the way I wanted them to find out, but regardless, if we can like read Odin's journal and get a flashback of like Roger telling him about it or something like that, that'd be a cool way to find out. So who knows, but the D-E-E really stood out to me. I don't know if that was just something that Oda just kind of threw in there because the way Momo's still a kid, and so that's just the way he's pronounced it, or if that's going to have a deeper meaning. So this continues with Yamato kind of explaining to Odin like, hey, or not Odin, but Momo like, hey, I never really thought I got to meet you, but I really looked up to your father. I read his journal, and you should have this. Like, I already read it. This is your father's exploits. Everything about his journey with Roger and Whitebeard, like, this should be yours. And Momo kind of, like, gets all sad and happy, like, tearful. He's like, thank you, like, father. Even Shinobu's like, Lord Odin's journal, like, this is a huge, huge deal for his exploits, his adventures with Roger and Whitebeard to be all in one journal. Like, this is huge for Momo to read about his father, learn more about him and what kind of man he was. So that's a really good scene between them. And Yamato goes on to explain, like, in your dad's journal, he talked about in 20 years, Roger and Whitebeard talked about the new generation of pirates, strong young pirates coming to the new world and causing havoc. And that's what's happening right now. The powerful pirates, the new generation, are coming to the new world, causing chaos and taking out the old guard. And we see a snapshot of Law and Kid kind of rooming and running up there, so they're making their way to the rooftops as well. And Yamato brings up Ace again. Like, the forefront of the new generation of pirates, I thought was Ace. And we see like a flashback of Ace be like, no, forget what I said. So I was super confused when I first read that. I was like, what is he talking about? Did he just like tell Yamato what the D meant? Did Ace know? Because I don't think Ace knew as far as we knew, but that was like my first thought, that he mentioned that. And Yamato's face when he says it is like the eyes went white, like she got knocked out. But just, he was talking about Luffy and his dream to be the king of the pirates, and what Luffy says to them all the time, Sasabo and Ace, I will be the king of the pirates. This coming from a Yonko's daughter makes sense, that Luffy's has such a wild dream that even Yamato's like, whoa. But we find out it's because Roger said the same thing to Odin. I will be king of the pirates. I will be the strongest pirate. And this hits Odin, but Ace thinks Odin, or Yamato, is gonna be like upset. He's like, no one can laugh at this. I can laugh at this, Sabo can laugh at this, because we're his brothers, but we believe in him. No one else is allowed to make fun of Luffy's dream. And Yamato, a little taken back, she kind of yells, she's like, Ace! And Ace is kind of taken back, like, by her reaction to this, and she starts to cry because of what Odin and Roger went through. Roger said to Odin, and she's like, that man said the same thing to Odin, which is huge. The king of the pirates, we knew that there was like the parallel between Luffy and Roger, obviously, but for them to be like saying the same words, and man, oh man, this hit Odin or Yamato pretty hard. So she's like, I won't laugh at his dream. So she really believes in Luffy. And at this point, they kind of go into a different conversation, and we find out that Ace got his Beaver Card from Yamato. We didn't know that, I think, before. We knew that Ace had his Beaver Card, but Yamato's the one that gave it to him. So Yamato took a piece of Ace's Beaver Card. Obviously, Ace gave it to probably some of the Whitebeard pirates and a piece to Luffy as well. And Yamato didn't find out about Ace's death until a while later. The same time we see Ace's Beaver Card burn up that Luffy had. The same thing happened to Yamato's, because Yamato's like, all of a sudden, Ace's Beaver Card disappear, and I later read it in the news of what happened. I learned that Ace was Roger's son, and Luffy was Ace's brother, the man that you brought to Wano Kuni, Momo. So Momo seeing all these dots connect between Roger, Ace, Luffy, and what's happening right now. So as this is all going on, we see Luffy haul assing up to the rooftop. And as she says it, she's like, Roger and Whitebeard, Yamato's still talking to Momo. Roger and Whitebeard said that over 20 years in the future, I'm going to read it, powerful pirates leading the next generation. Oh, this is Odin talking. Excuse me. Odin was talking. Will come swarming into the new world. If I am dead by then, they will be the ones to strike down Kaido. And we get this amazing scene with Kid. I'm going to go here to here, right to left. Kid, Killer, Luffy, Zoro, and then Law sitting on top of a rock. We see the next generation, and then we see Kaido and Big Mom facing off, guys. We've been looking forward to this so much. Now, there's been a lot of speculation, like who's going to hit the rooftop. Is it going to be Luffy against Big Mom and Kaido, which was unlikely? Is it going to be Luffy and Zoro? I think a lot of people thought it was going to be like all of the worst generation, Drake, Apu and Kid and Hawkins, Law, Luffy, Zoro, Killer, like all of them would show up. But it looks like we got the main trio, the original ones that we see walk out of the courthouse all that time ago. It's Kid, his first in command, Luffy, and Zoro, obviously, and then Law. I would not want anyone else. This is perfect. This is exactly what I wanted. I want the 3 captains, the 2 strongest right-hand men, 5 against 2. Beautiful. Perfect. I couldn't want anything else. This is exactly how I saw this going, and I cannot wait to see this fight, guys, here. So as things are starting to ramp up a little bit here, we cut away from what Yamato and Momo are doing. We start to get some dialogue between the 7 on the rooftop, between the new generation and the old generation. And we see Kaido's like, Straw Hat. So he has a thing. He wants to beat up Straw Hat. Straw Hat says some strong words to him, so he's not happy with it. And Big Mom's like, oh, some beautiful ripe heads coming up to the stand. Perfect for plucking. And as they're talking, Luffy notices something. You see him something catches his interest. And he starts walking right to Big Mom and Kaido. And I was like, Luffy, what are you doing, man? Like, are you just gonna like start this up? Like, he's about to go in. But no, he walks right through them. And Kaido and Big Mom probably sensed that he had no ulterior motive to that. And they just kind of let him walk through. As they're talking to him, they're like, hey, Big Mom, did you hear what this fletchling had to say to me earlier? And Big Mom kind of counters, was like, oh yeah, he's a saucy one. He said some crazy things to me before he destroyed my castle. Hey, Straw Hat, you owe me a castle. So they're just talking to him as Luffy walks past them. And then Kaido kind of brings out like his deep voice, like, Straw Hat, why don't you say what you said to me earlier, huh? Why don't you say it again? I dare you to say it again to my face right here, right now, before I kill you. And as Luffy he just ignores them. He walks right through because he noticed that Kinemon was right behind them and the rest of the Scabbards as well. He picks up Kinemon. Kinemon's coughing up blood. His face is beaten. He looks over on all the other Scabbards are absolutely defeated. They're beaten and bloodied. Some of them may be missing limbs and stuff. We don't get to see the extent of the damage that they've taken, but we know it's heavy. None of them look like they're conscious, if alive, as well. And as Luffy picks up Kinemon, he coughs up blood. He's like, Sir Luffy, please. At last, I couldn't do anything. Like, when I meet Odin, I have nothing but shame to share with him. And this is like, that was a really like hard scene. Like, the dreams of the Scabbards, all their willpower was to take down Kaido to avenge their master, and they got utterly defeated. Utterly defeated. And not that they stood a chance, but it looked promising a little bit that they would be able to do a little bit of damage to Kaido. But when Kaido got serious, it was over. And you see Kinemon's just so hurt by this. Tears are flooding down his eyes. He's like, please, Luffy, please, will you put Wano Kuni on your back? And Luffy resoundingly says, of course, this is my friend's country. And as he says that to him, Kaido shows up behind Luffy, club in hand, about to just lay down the wood. And Luffy very calmly was like, hey, Law, pop these guys downstairs for me. And Law, without saying a word, just pulls up his fingers, says room, and all of a sudden you hear pop, and all the Scabbards are gone. Luffy dodges Kaido's attack, and Kaido looks up kind of like glaring at Luffy, and you see Luffy say gear third, and he's rearing back, and all of a sudden we get like a flashback in the middle of this double page panel of all the crazy major events that Luffy's been a part of, all the people that impacted his life. We see what happened at Zou. We see the execution of Habisu? Habisu? I can't remember his name. The frog dude who got shot. We see him. We get to see Kinemon talking about Odin and what happened 20 years in the past. Momo begging Luffy to save his country. Higuro of the Flowers explaining to Luffy what happened so long ago with Odin and everything. And then the story Kinemon, of course, told all the strats about Odin and his adventures. We see all the major events kind of come into one big panel. And at the end of it, you see Luffy on fire. And just the climax of this chapter, he full on connects with Kaido's face. Full gear third, red rock. We get a new attack. Instead of the red hawk that we get from gear second, we got a gear third red rock. With the training Luffy did physically in the mines, carrying all those rocks, with his new Ryu powers, his armament hockey going up, this had to be a devastating attack on Kaido. Kaido's taken a punch from Luffy before in gear fourth, shrugged it off, and one hit Luffy. I don't think that's happening this time, guys. Luffy is packing a punch now. And even Big Mom is shocked. See that one like nervous sweat going down her head? She's like, Kaido, how could you let him hit you like that? And just like Big Mom and Kaido asked for, Luffy puts on his hat, says, I am the one who will surpass you and become king of the pirates. Right to their faces. You see Kaido looking pissed. Big Mom is shocked. End of chapter, guys. Luffy drops the effing mic. Guys, oh my God. What a chapter. It lived up to the title, Straw Hat Luffy. And we started the story with Luffy, and 1,000 chapters later, Luffy is the star of the show again. I am so happy about how this chapter decided to go. That we got to see Luffy stand up to Kaido and Big Mom, and that this chapter focused on bringing everything in Wano Kuni to pretty much like one punch. So amazing. Now, it's not done. Kaido and Big Mom aren't defeated. There's still a lot to go. This fight is just beginning, but I'm so excited to see how this fight breaks up. Who Big Mom is going to fight, who Kaido is going to focus on. I would love to see Zoro and Luffy against Kaido and the rest against Big Mom. That's what I would prefer. I could see Killer And Zoro dealing with Big Mom and the homies, and the rest of the captains taking on the captains. So the homies against Killer and Zoro, but the rest, I don't know. I don't really know how I want it to break up. I really just want all 5 to fight Kaido. They all have the reasons to kick Kaido's ass. And Big Mom's kind of just going to be there, just eating her toy. To kind of like run interference, guys. But this review is getting long, but it deserves it because Chapter 1000 was so insanely fun. I loved every second of it, guys. It was such a great read. And we end Chapter 1000 with Luffy saying, "I will become the king of the pirates." I mean, there's no better way to end Chapter 1000 with his catchphrase, guys. Oda, well done. You deserve this 2-week break, guys. There will be plenty of time for us to talk about Chapter 1000, what'll come of it. So, guys, there'll be more videos of One Piece coming later this week and the next week. And some theory videos may be coming as well, guys. So look forward to that. Obviously, Monday, My Hero Academia Black Clover live reactions will be coming, guys. So look forward to that tomorrow, most likely in the morning and afternoon. But guys, comment below, what was your favorite part of Chapter 1000? What did you think of Luffy's new power, the Red Rock? And did it deal some damage to Kaido with his newfound Ryu powers? Is Kaido in a heap of trouble, guys? Oh my God. That's it for me today. Peace. Happy New Year. Enjoy your day, guys. Your boy Ash is out.